Hey everybody, welcome back or welcome to Nain Shorts. Here at Physique Magnifique, the wonderful basement, our home. Come take a look, check us out here at 387 Grand Avenue in South San Francisco. It's a great place to be, wonderful people, except Rick. He's kind of like the black sheep of the family, but I bear with him. But I don't know for how long, or how much longer, I should say. He is my co-host on Konversation, or I am his. I'm not 100% sure how that direction works. However, lately I have been contemplating learning from someone else. Not that I'll stop learning from him, but all this time I've been training and practicing the bladed mind as it was given to me by Danny, as it was interpreted by Rick, and how I'm now internalizing those lessons and making them my own. But we have met a lot of great martial artists through Kali Conversation. We've become friends, and many of them, well, I should say some of them, I don't know if many of them, but some of them are very willing to take me as a student as well. And lately I've been really wondering, when is the right time in your martial arts journey to do that? Now, I'm not talking about just going there every once in a while and learning a few things here and there. I mean, literally going to their school, spending at minimum a year with them, training their art, their teaching methodology, their concepts, and everything else that comes along with being a new student, a white belt in that system. Because anything less than that, really, how much are you going to take away? To me, it just sounds like a longer seminar where, yeah, you pick up a few good things, but really, how much do you actually retain? I'm talking from the ground up and work from there as a new incoming student. And that's difficult. I mean, personally, if I didn't have a job, if I didn't have responsibilities, every week, every couple of months, I'd be going to somebody else and I'd be training for X amount of time. I mean, I would love to do 8-9 hour days of training in different aspects of martial arts and concepts, but unfortunately I cannot, which means I would then dedicate time, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hour classes, once or twice a week, as I do now with the bladed mind. And to give it enough time and give it, like I said, a good, at least a year to really pick up on it. And lately I've been considering, is that disrespectful to my instructor, to my instructors, to the bladed mind itself as an entity? Am I turning my back on them, or am I carrying it with me? Am I looking for something better? Or am I just exploring myself and what I can possibly do with this new information, this new training, and enhance what I have? Now, Rick has been trying to kick me out for years at this point, and I won't go away because there's still so much to learn, and he keeps coming up with lessons. So that's on him as far as I'm concerned. But it's getting to that point where I have to do it for me. And I've had a chance to speak with a lot of other artists that have been doing it for a lot longer, who have gone to different schools. I mean, Danny Dos Santos is one of the most famous example that I can come up with of somebody that has gone to multiple schools, ranked in multiple systems, and teaches them individually, but somehow they all have blended into who he is today as a practitioner. As an instructor, well, depending on what he's teaching, he can pull out that book and teach you that. But that's a long career. That man's in his 80s at this point, and he has a lot under his belt and a lot of knowledge that you can pull from, not just the arts, but the historical aspect of those arts as well. His speech that he did at the Smithsonian is incredible, and I've rewatched it several times. But even locally, even some of the instructors that we've met, they have multiple systems under their belt, and they've done great things about it. They eventually, and I think most of them, will go back to their original art And that's the thing that they teach. Or some of them have found something that they like even more or are more accustomed to. And that they teach that, but they still practice all these other things. And regardless of their age, they still kind of pick the brains of other arts and other artists and are even student themselves. Awesome. So definitely a white belt for life. But in general, how do I know I'm ready for that? Well, definitely we've been talking a lot about the individual and the ego and being able to quell that. And I think maybe that's a very important part, because some of us, we're very gung-ho about what we do. We reach a certain rank and then kind of stay there. Because, well, we love the art, we love the instructor, whatever the case may be, and we have a very hard time seeing outside of that. So when we do go train with other people, we have a hard time letting go. And it impedes our learning process. So definitely being able to keep that ego in check and making sure that, hey, you don't have to throw away what you know, but definitely when you're here, this is what you're learning on. This is what you're focusing. And if you're unable to do that, then you definitely probably shouldn't move to another school. Keep doing what you're doing. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, be the best you can be at that. But for me, I want to keep growing. I want to keep pushing. I want to see the limits of my own learning ability and where it can take me. And I think at this point I do have enough sense to shut the hell up and listen. And more importantly, shut my brain, because, well, that thing is constantly running. But if I let it, it's going to impede my learning process. Now, in the Bladed Mind, it's always been said from the very beginning, go to other schools, train other things, learn from other people. So that environment has always been instilled in me to learn from as many people as I can. But there's a difference between going and picking people's brains and actually committing to another school to learn enough to maybe even get ranked. And that's what I'm talking about. It's kind of a scary thought, really. Because you are comfortable where you are. I'm definitely comfortable doing what I do. All the things that I've learned, all the stick stuff, the knives, everything that I like doing, the moves that I constantly practice or that come out when I move. I still do them. I'm still going to carry them with me. But it's difficult to leave the nest. And sometimes people get kicked out. And then, not that it's a bad thing, but you start growing on your own, and eventually your own ideas will leak out, regardless of how much you want to keep it to the original. And this is just my personal belief, that every individual will always put a part of themselves, especially if you give it your all. And there are little changes that happen, whether we acknowledge them or not. I know I've seen them in other people, and I've seen them in myself too. I don't move the way Rick does. I don't move the way Danny does. I don't think the way either of them do. And in what we do in the Bladed Mind, I was told that that's okay. Maybe it's not in other arts. You know, you hear stories, but I don't know. So here I am wondering, is it time for me to find out? Is it time for me to fly out on my own and figure out, run into things again, start from scratch? Something that I have no idea about, or at least some, and then have everything dispelled, because many times we do have a concept of what we think it's going to be like. And then we get there and it's nothing like we thought it was. Do I have that confidence, or not even confidence, just the sticking power? Do I have the gall to really stick it out and get something significant out of it, or do I just simply up and quit because this is crap, this is not what I thought it was going to be? Again, that's all speaking to an individual's character. As far as I'm concerned, I do not believe I would do that. But then again, I was also taught that if it's something that's really not going to be helpful to you, or just plain crap, why are you going to stick around? But because our individual selves will always come out regardless of how or who teaches us, I've seen and I've heard that conflicts do start between certain students and their instructors, especially when the students want to branch out on their own, or they want to do their own thing. And oftentimes, out of respect, those students won't, and they'll stay. But eventually, it comes to a head, and then they realize that, well, the results aren't matching my intentions, or what I thought I should be doing with the art, with whatever teachings I have under me. And I don't want to get to a point where my relationship with my instructors is the reason why I have to go. And I don't feel that I should have to wait till the point where my instructors are no longer around for me to branch out and do my own thing, my own way. And again, in the Bladed Mind, I was taught that you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to branch out on your own. You're supposed to start doing your own thing and interpret your own ideas and then put yourself into what you do. It is an art. And art, by definition, is an expression of yourself, of your own ideas. The martial part, that's just fun. Okay, that's kind of a messed up comment, because look up what martial means. But but it is fun to train that stuff. I'm not going to lie. Even being in uki and getting thrown and kicked, and it hurts, but it really is enjoyable. It's dumb, or I'm just crazy. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe both. But the art part, the expression, the putting yourself into something, your dedication to it, that's what I'm about. And if we take the names of the school out, if we take the names of the instructors out, then it is just that, martial arts. And I don't even consider myself a practitioner as much as a student. This is something I study, because within that study I find more about me. And isn't that a good enough reason for you to explore outside of yourself, outside of your comfort level, and to push the boundaries of your own knowledge? And if we can all be okay with that, then maybe we can find more ways to connect the ideas together, find more commonality. Now, I'm not setting out to do that. I'm not trying to change the environment of things. I'm just saying that maybe if the environment was a little different, more people would. More people could. More knowledge, more power, right? Eventually, one source of information is going to run out, it's going to run dry, or it's not going to be enough to fulfill somebody's needs or even their wants. Again, I'm not saying that's where I am in my studies or with the Bladed Mind. It's just that I want to push the boundaries of myself. So I need to step outside of my comfort zone. I need to break the mold. And then start from scratch, rebuild. Just a few episodes ago, here in this show, I came to that realization, mostly because my ego was on the ground and in tatters. And you know what? I didn't feel the need to pick it back up. Now that opportunities are coming up for me to study outside of my own art, I think I'm going to take advantage of that. More importantly, I think I need to take advantage of that. It's only going to benefit me. I'm never going to forget where I come from. And I'm not going to stop promoting the Bladed Mind and Danny, because he is the originator of what I know. Even Rick, as much of an a-hole as he is, will tell you he got all his stuff from Danny. He put in his own flavor, his own history, his own experiences into the mix. But I'm not a product of Rick or Dan. I'm a product of the information that they shared with me, and then my dedication to understanding that information. And in that process, you have this. I don't know how great this is, but honestly, that's not my concern right now. My concern is, how much more can I get? How much more can I learn? And here I am, as uncomfortable as the idea of leaving for another instructor or for another school is. I think it can only benefit me. And
wait, are you still going to do college conversation now? I got to look for another Mexican.
Don't worry, Rick. As long as you're still alive and kicking and we're doing Kali Conversations, I will be your co-host. That has less to do with martial arts and more to
get
do...
on with it then, never mind. Go.
Seriously? That was all it was? God, you just wanted... Oh, you wanted it on camera so I can't take it back. Jesus Christ.
You don't edit anything else.
No, that's... Alright, folks, so he wanted my declaration of ever-ending love to Kali Conversation, so I don't betray him there, which is weird, because he wants to kick me out of his school, but he still wants me as a co-host. You rat bastard. But that's where I am. Like I said, it's a little uncomfortable to even say. It might even be more uncomfortable to do. But maybe it is the right time for me, and until I do it, I'm not going to know. So, yeah, we'll see where this takes me. Thank you very much for joining me again on here. Nain Short, if this is the first time, like and subscribe, share with everybody that you know, and June 4th, keep that date open, because we are having a fundraiser. Everything we do is out of pocket. We love doing it, but damn, it's costly. So we are throwing a fundraiser. We're getting some 5 great instructors to teach at VEA Martial Arts in Manteca. And we're going to have a blast, folks. So please join us, be there, and support the channel if you like the content. If you can't be there, darn it, there's a donation button. You can always send money. And that also is very helpful. Thank you so much for joining me on this Nain Short. To the next one. 3, 2, 1, cut!